Family. We all don't hear it. Samura Kamara say he won't boycott the election if the electoral commissioner not resign. Well, I want let we listen to Umaru Fofana, a message we don't communicate with Samura Kamara and Mohamed Konneh, winner the electoral boss. Let us listen.
The main opposition APC party's presidential candidate, Dr. Samura Kamara, fell little short of saying that they did not feel comfortable to continue with next week's elections. In a speech lasting over an hour, he listed a litany of grievances, some of them dating back to the immediate aftermath of the elections of 5 years ago. He cast aspersions on the electioneering process, alleging that the Electoral Commission was acting against his interests. He also accused the security forces of being used against his supporters. He then issued this ultimatum.
Accordingly, the APC will therefore demand that Mr. Mohamed Konneh and all electoral commission resign forthwith to be replaced by an independent, internationally accredited team.
His 72-hour ultimatum for the leadership of the Electoral Commission to resign ends tomorrow. So I asked him what if they did not leave.
Well, the party will have to meet and decide on the next steps.
And you are calling for international election experts to come and redo the whole election process, which will take time. Are you not suggesting that you want the elections to be put off, to be deferred?
Well, as long as we're moving to something that is credible outside what is happening now, I don't think the people of Sierra Leone will be angered by that. I mean, as of today, we still do not have credible final voters register. The UN can come in, the Commonwealth Secretariat can come in.
Do you not think that's like handing over the country's sovereignty to conduct its own election to some other body outside of Sierra Leone?
No, it's pursuit of democracy. After all, it's only an interim measure. You just come, conduct elections, and then you go away and leave it to the people.
If you want the elections to be put off, by how much time do you want it to be delayed?
I'm sure it will not be more than 3 months.
During your address, you say that any election that falls short of you being declared the winner could be a recipe for undermining the stability of the state. What exactly do you mean by that?
Personally, I don't want anybody to react violently. But then when the people are denied of their rights.
But for you to say that any result that falls short of declaring you as a winner could undermine the stability of the state, isn't that a recipe in itself for chaos?
No, it's not. And that's what I'm saying. If elections are not rigged, they're not manipulated, I don't have a problem.
So will the Chief Electoral Commissioner Mohamed Konneh resign his post?
I'm not going to resign, and neither of any of the commissioners, no way, we're not going to resign. The commission is prepared to conduct elections on 24th June 2023. The ballot papers will be here over the weekend, and we are going ahead with the elections. Whatever they have raised, we have addressed all these issues. So there are nothing new that they have raised that will cause them to say the process is unfair. We have been having meetings with them. We have been engaging them, explaining the procedure and processes to all political parties, including the All People's Congress. The data they are asking for, the sooner we completed the voter registration, they ask for disaggregated data. That includes the figures by center, by station. And once we completed the process of sanitizing the data, we came out with the disaggregated data, which is on our website. The sooner we release that, they say, no, that's not what they wanted. They ask us to provide details of the personal information about voter registers and so many other information which we cannot disclose. We cannot give personal data of voter register to political parties.
The police have denied any wrongdoing, saying they have only been detaining people who have been fomenting trouble. Religious leaders are meanwhile working around the clock to calm the nerves.
Umaru Fofana there in Freetown in Sierra Leone.
Now, the United States has condemned what it calls human rights abuses and horrific violence in Sudan.
We all don't listen to the communication. We Samura Kamara say, well, they're going to go meet, then they come to a solution. But one thing I want to understand, them puppy dog where they get, where they order them, where they say at least 3 months, and the same 3 months, and Samura Kamara talk about. But however, I want to listen to the response also from the Sierra Leone People's Party, what they don't talk and what they stand on. Because Samura Kamara, they try for talk, say they want APC, they want the data of citizens, who side they sleep, who side they lay down, everything about them. Which then they breach against the law, which not they inside the constitution for the ECL, the Electoral Commissioner, to share the private information of we your private information then to share with APC. So now network leader will they sleep, they go can attack and kill we because of that they believe on. The Electoral Commissioner, they not get mind do that. No way, it's not possible for that to happen. The private data of we to can't get APC. But however, when I listen to the response from the Sierra Leone People's Party, SLPP, where the man a lawyer, and also in the Deputy Justice Minister for Sierra Leone, Umaru Napoleon, when I the SLPP Secretary General, when I listen to the message, after that when I share, APC, the game don't know. If you're not able to this game, I will pull out. Family, Mina Dima the Great. The SLPP, CEO of TGM, and also Deputy Chairman for the Sierra Leone People's Party, Olambra. When I share the meaningful Sierra Leone area, listening to Umaru Napoleon message from the Sierra Leone People's Party.
The SLPP will stoutly reject any attempt to disrupt the June 24, 2023 Motitia elections as a result of APC's failure to prepare for these elections. Without doubt, there is no law that requires the ECSL to give a national register of voters to any political party. Any attempt by ECSL to provide political parties the disaggregated data of voters, including voters' identification numbers, voters' addresses, dates and places of birth, will not only be in contravention of the privacy and confidentiality of voters, but also endanger the lives and security of voters. The voter ID cards issued to all Sierra Leoneans voters for their keep do have sufficient information about all registered voters in the Republic of Sierra Leone. 10. The SLPP reaffirms its confidence in the Board of Electoral Commissioners and admonish the ECSL to continue discharging its functions within the provisions of the law. Any aggrieved political party must seek judicial or administrative redress in line with the Constitution of the Republic of Sierra Leone. The APC presidential candidate's repeated assertion that the only outcome of a free and fair elections the APC will accept is an APC victory sets a dangerous tone for a premeditated post-election violence by the APC. This unfounded assertion is akin to the narrative the APC presidential candidate Dr. Samura Kamara created in 2018 when he realized that the APC had lost the election to the SLPP and subsequently refused to concede defeat. All well-meaning Sierra Leoneans must robustly condemn the APC presidential candidate for sowing the seed of post-election violence through peddling such lies and assertions. 12. The presidential candidate, members and supporters of the SLPP, confident of a resounding victory on the 12th June 2024 Motitia elections, hereby call on all and sundry to continue our peaceful elections campaign across the country. Finally, the SLPP is surprised by the silence of members of the diplomatic community and civil society organization to condemn the APC's systemic pattern of inciting violence and threats to undo our democracy, peace, national security, especially through Paul Adebayo, who is financed by senior members of the All People's Congress. At the very least, we expect local and international election monitoring bodies to issue a statement on the validity or otherwise accuracy of the claims made by the APC presidential candidate. Failure to do so will undermine their role as moral guarantors of our democratic governance. I thank you all for your audience. Called on the SLPP and President Julius Maada Bio to adhere to the election peace pledge, which we signed under the supervision of the Commonwealth. But it is saddening to inform you all present here that even before the signing and after the signing, the APC has deliberately refused to go by the said peace accord, the said peace pledge. And I'll refer you to point 1 and point 3. Point 1, we clearly agreed that we unreservedly and publicly condemn tribalism, regionalism, sectionalism, hate speech, acts of violence, attacks on citizens and groups, including past incidents resulting in loss of lives, damage to property, and the use of social media in ways to incite violence, disunity, and disrespect. 3, that we disassociate ourselves from those party members found to be involved in any acts of provocation, incitement of violence, or violence to commit, taking disciplinary measures against them. The APC, before and after the signing, has never come out to put out any statement to condemn Mr. Adebayo, aka known as Kamara Will, who is residing in Holland and who keeps perpetuating, inciting violence in our country through his notorious audio messages. So the APC is in breach of this, and we want to remind you and the international community, and particularly the Commonwealth, under which auspices we signed this peace pledge. In addition to this, I shall be sharing those documents with you later. I also want to draw your attention to the several incidents we've captured at our incident reporting center relating to violence incident perpetrated against members of the Sierra Leone People's Party by the All People's Congress, copies of which will be shared again to members of the press. But we have captured several incidents and cases reported, some relating to assault, arson, etc., in many parts of the country, like Bombali, Konneh, Moyamba, Potloko, Konneh, etc. Many of the cases we've reported to the Israeli police. They are under investigations. Many of them are captured on videos, etc. So this is where we find ourselves, and as we continue. But we are pleased to inform you that the SLPP continues with our campaigning. As we speak to you, our presidential candidate, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, is on the campaign trail today in the Western Rural District, and he shall be proceeding from there to Konneh to proceed tomorrow to Kailan. We are sure that these elections will hold, we believe, and we are very much confident that on the 24th of June 2023, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio will be resoundingly President of the Republic of Sierra Leone for the second time. I thank you all for your audience. God bless you all.